boy, baseball fans, have we got a week in store. You go through the numbers, 10 teams with a combined record of 499 wins, 109 losses. That's an average record of 50-11. When you have veteran coaches saying they've never seen a field like this year's, you know we've got a great tournament on tap. Let's meet the teams. We start with day one, game one. Set your alarm clock, 9 a.m. start time, featuring Central Florida and Cali. Let's meet the Patriots out of Ocala, Florida, the last team to arrive in Grand Junction, getting in Thursday night. How's that going to affect their performance?
I'll tell you after tomorrow's game, but no, it won't be an excuse. We got here late last night, long day of traveling yesterday, but it is what it is. These guys are going to be ready. These guys are going to be excited, and they'll be fine. They're not going to be tired in the morning.
Hopefully their bats are awake too. 9th in the country in home runs, 86 on the season. You can bet the boys from Florida happy to be at elevation.
We got a little juice throughout the lineup. We can swing the bat, but our pitching, we have 3 guys that we consider our number ones.
The staff just 8 strikeouts shy of 600 and maybe looking for it against Cali. Familiar faces in the Tigers. The team from Arkansas, Kansas, have been in Junction 5 of the last 6 tournaments. This year, it's about sniffing out the gaps. They're going to hit bombs too and are aggressive on the base pass.
Kind of old school, for lack of a better term, just where we have to go take extra bases when we get an opportunity and play good defense and not give teams 4 outs.
As for keys to success, stick to what you do.
If you can just play to your practice and not get caught up in a moment, but it's hard for young guys when they've not played in front of 10,000 people.
Well, get ready, Tigers. You got just that shot this week. So too do the teams in Game 2, the 1 seed in Walter State and Harford. The Senators out of Morristown, Tennessee, coming back to Simplesio for 4 straight years, rocking a crazy good 57-5 record, leading the nation in bombs. How's 119 sound?
It's kind of surprising to me every time I hear that we've led the country in home runs. I don't think of us as a big power hitting team. We're a little more of a pitching and defense type team that's just happened to lead the country in home runs.
Yeah, and a staff that also ranks first in the country in ERA. But going back to that ranking, what does the 1 seed mean?
Absolutely nothing. I mean, we're playing a team that's 48-7 on the season.
And that team is Harford from Bel Air, Maryland, just the 2nd Fighting Out sighting in Grand Junction ever. But their head coach actually on the mound during their last tournament run.
Kind of full circle moment. Still hasn't probably hit me until we really get going out here, but it's been really cool.
So too is how they got here, topping Flodar in a winner-take-all. As for their brand,
I think it's a breath of fresh air for some people. For our guys too, I think it's different. A lot of our guys play loose. They play with a lot of energy, a lot of passion.
The passion bucket overfloweth at JUCO. Game 3, Wabash Valley and Sneed State. The Warriors making their way to Grand Junction by way of Mount Carmel, Illinois. Their 3rd trip ever. Last time, 2017. This year, no easy feat getting out of the Midwest District, dropping their first game 1 out to punch a ticket.
Obviously, getting back through the losers bracket was extremely difficult with everything that we went through. Guys embraced it, and of course, you had to get through the powerhouse Fire Western, back to the losers bracket, so it was special.
So is their offense, a quadfecta in nation-leading categories. Batting average, 400. Hits, 1 shy of 800. RBI, 629. And runs scored, just 5 shy of 700. Best in baseball in plenty, but the Warriors, they have a saying.
Hey, it's not the best team. It's always the team who plays the best, and that's kind of our motto.
A motto they'll want to follow when they take on Sneed State from Boaz, Alabama. The Parsons, the newest of newcomers, making their first trip to the World Series ever. Welcome to Dogpile season.
It means everything for us. These guys have really put in the time and the effort, blood, sweat, and tears, and it's an absolute exciting time for these guys.
You bet. As for playing under those bright lights at Simplesio for the first time, how will those Parsons handle that pressure?
Man, we'll find out. We'll find out, because there's nothing that leads up to this, and you can talk about it all you want to. You can tell them it's coming, and, hey, we'll find out when we get there.
It's coming, and we'll find out tomorrow. Speaking of, the final of 4 games Friday, the nightcap, a monster matchup of Texas-sized proportion. San Jack taking on the returning champs in McLennan.
We had to travel 1,200 miles to face San Jack. How about that?
Yeah, that and defend the title. The 21 Alpine Bank JUCO World Series saw a great effort from the Highlander starters and bullpen. How about this year?
Hey, pitching is always the key. It's the key to winning, and for sure it'll be the key here. We like our guys. I think that they've done a nice job throwing strikes, competing hard. I like our depth. We'll see if it can show up and compete as well as it can this week.
And it's pictures like this. It's what all 10 teams are fighting for. Does being the last one to do it add an extra target?
Oh, I don't know about that. Everybody that's here has earned their way here. I know that nobody cares that we won it last year. We know what it feels like. We want to go try and do it again, no question, just like everybody here does.
And so does San Jacinto. The San Jack Gators, back for a 25th time, make it 6 appearances in 7 of the last tournaments. You make your way to Junction that many times, folks are bound to know who you are.
10,000 people. Some are going to be yelling for you. Some are going to be yelling against you. But I think every fan wants to see good baseball, and they'll be excited about it.
Yeah, believe it or not, there are Gator haters too, but back to that good baseball. That is exactly what San Jack is bringing to the table.
This is the team that I believe is very dynamic. I think we can hit. I think we play solid defense. I think our pitching is outstanding. And if we bring all those in the mix together, then we could have a possibility of winning this thing.
All the keys to success. Speaking of success, we have whittled our way down to the last matchup. The first game on Sunday features a former champion in Central Arizona taking on Crowder. First up, the 2019 champs, last year's runner-up, the Vaqueros out of Coolidge, Arizona, and back looking to make a 3rd consecutive deep run. Had to scratch and claw their way, staving off 5 elimination games. Lots of high-pressure baseball counts for something.
Yeah, I think so. You got to have a little confidence to get through it, and you got to have a little bit of leadership to get through it, and just a little bit of calm, and I think that comes from the guys who have been here before. Just not a lot of panic in the dugout and those kind of things. It certainly wasn't easy, though.
To that point, Coach Gillich, he likes it loose.
I like to give them a little bit of freedom, and obviously, we're playing. We have a lot of respect for their teams, but yeah, we want to have some energy and just have some fun.
First up to have some fun against, how about Crowder, the Rough Riders from Neosho, Missouri, back for the 2nd time in as many years.
Last year, where we got out of the gates really slow, and we were really riding the emotions of being in the World Series. Hopefully, they treat this, and again, I know it's tough, but hopefully they treat it like another game.
And during any other game this season, not unlike most, if not all the teams in this year's series, more than half of the Rough Riders runs generated off the bats of COVID freshmen. Experience matters, but an important note.
It's kind of a grown man's game, right now. And again, some of these guys had opportunities to move on, didn't get exactly what they wanted, so they decided to come back. And I think a lot of the clubs here can say the same thing. So a little bit older, a little bit more mature and seasoned group, but they put up good numbers, and all those guys have signed to move on to 4-year school. So it wasn't a waste of time for them, and I think that's the number one thing. Obviously, competing in Grand Junction is big, but these kids got a future ahead of them to go play at the 4-year level and maybe even beyond, and I think that's what's the most important.
Hear, hear. But for this week, these next 19, maybe 20 games, it's about competing in Grand Junction. Fans, that's your 2022 Alpine Bank JUCO World Series bracket. We'll see ya at Sapplesio.